Greetings. I'm Thomas Caldwell of the Aurelian Column, and this is Meditations. Now, in the past, Meditations was something I did for only paying subscribers, and I plan to go back to that, but since this is the first one in video, I thought I would put it out there to let people know what to think. Well, lots going on, to put it mildly. Well, I'm going to point something out. A lot of people are talking about the demise of the United States, the end of the Republic. Something is going to replace it, and I don't think anybody out there would disagree with me that the U.S. as it was is never coming back, and something is going to be replacing what exists now. Whether it turns into something along the lines of the Roman Empire, where you have a strong central tyrannical system, because what you have now is just not efficient, kind of like ancient Rome, when a bunch of rather stupid and incompetent senators tried to manage a vast expanse of the world. Julius Caesar stepped in, tried to bring order to things, got killed for forgiving his enemies. Lesson for all of us there. His nephew, Octavius, later became Augustus, took over, and the Roman Empire was born. Empires are not great because the culture ceases to really exist. It stays stasis. But this is not about the Roman Empire. This is about the United States of America. Some time ago, I did a commentary on a book that a man named Patrick Buchanan wrote some years ago called Suicide of a Superpower. Will America make it to the year 2025? Ominous title, given how many years ago it was written. I'd check it out. Well, here we are near the end of 2025, and things don't look good about the U.S. celebrating its 250th birthday. Now, I'm going to go into all this later. Tomorrow's report will be audio because of where I'll be at, and I'll go into an awful lot of the current affairs. But whether or not you are rooting for the U.S. to split up, be taken over by China and Russia, or to become an empire, or for some reason magically return to the days of Leave It to Beaver, which is not going to happen. One thing that gets people through times like this, and that is getting more religious than you usually are, having a spiritual center. Now, everyone likes to talk about this as the upcoming Civil War 2.0. All right, well, I'm in a Civil War battlefield right now. Great place to go. Peaceful. It's like all the hatred and fear and bloodshed was sucked out of the land. A very peaceful place, old battlefields, I've discovered. But quite simply, what got them through it? Did you ever check that out? Has anyone here ever read the letters that were written back then? It was a very, very literary conflict. A lot of the average man and women at the time were able to write pretty well too, very eloquently. Not just the generals, but the people in the ranks. They had diaries, they wrote letters home. Back home, people gave speeches on what side was being blessed by God. It was a very religious era. Was that the reason for the conflict? I don't think so. But I think it's what gave people the fortitude to make it through. Religion is by definition not something extreme. All religious traditions talk about the middle way, not just Buddhism, but Christianity does, Islam does to an extent. Is anything that's fanatical is inherently not divine. But when it comes to the individual, it's important to really, really, really get good with whatever God you're with. Because what helps you through dark times, and there are dark times here, and they're getting worse, and they're coming, is being at peace with yourself, and also being at peace with whatever divine force rules over us. And we don't really know what that is. And if you're into a religion that is absolutely convinced that your way is the only way, well, not a good idea and not true. That's what's led to an awful lot of the troubles in the world. Look at the Middle East. But I won't go there now. There are good people in every religious tradition in this world. Every one. How many? Hard to tell. But what got people through the first Civil War in this country was a very strong knowledge, and not just belief, but knowledge in the divine. It's one thing to believe something or have faith. That's another thing to know it. If you know it down to your soul. You're not afraid of anything, and you can march through just about anything, and believe me, a lot of them did. So, as things get crazier and crazier here in the United States of disunited America, go back to whatever spiritual tradition you're in and redouble your efforts in it. And if you don't have one, well, you might want to think of looking into it. At one point, I didn't have any. Way back when, I had a very successful material life, and then at some point, things forced me to look at the side in life that most people don't want to deal with, and that's the spiritual. Spiritual strength can overcome just about anything. Just about anything. And for what's ahead, we're all going to need a lot of it. The leftists in this country, I don't want to call them liberals because that defiles the memory of true liberals that we've had in the past. Those that are into the materialism of Marxism and devoid of all spirit, they are weak. And they are not meant to rule over us. So if we want to beat them, we have to beat them in a department that they don't address. So if you're into whatever you're into, whether you're into the old gods of Europe, the old gods of Africa, the old gods of the Middle East that have been transferred to Europe and other places, well, you decide. Just show respect for other people's beliefs, because the disrespect is part of the problem we're having right now. Again, if you're interested in real history, go back and see the letters that were written by the soldiers on both sides of the American Civil War to their relatives, their friends, their wives, their congressmen, and read their diaries. They made it through and created something better. It was better. And hopefully, if enough of us take on that mantle, the sacrifices they made more than a century and a half ago will not be for vain. Something to think about this Sunday. That's it for today. If you appreciate my work, please like, subscribe, and share. Share with your friends and share with your enemies, unless it gives them an advantage. I can be reached at feedback@aureliancolumn.com. That's feedback@aureliancolumn.com. I'm up on X. My handle there is MICCAMPEN. That's MICCAMPEN. I'm on other social media platforms, of course, but not Facebook. This podcast originates at Substack. My handle there is aureliancolumn.substack.com. It's also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other such platforms. Until we meet again, be good, be safe, be vigilant, and evolve well. Good day.